Okay, I have my coffee, and this isn't the way I wanted to start this, because I'm gonna go get some really nice mics so that this sounds a little bit better. But whatever, this is the first episode of Voice Memos with Cody Jean. This is my damn voice memo. That's it. So I do have to tell you about the coffee that I made today. It was a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Not quite. So I really only like hot coffee. I really only like hot coffee with maybe a little bit of almond milk, maybe a little bit of oat milk. If we're feeling flirty, cashew, coconut, no. Too fruity. But anyways, just a little bit of milk. That's all. No sweetener, no iced. I don't do iced coffee. I can't do iced coffee. It tastes wrong. It tastes off. It tastes foul. And I will fight you on this right now. I will fight you because, yes, I am tired. I am tired of the iced coffee. It's too much. It's too much, you guys. When does it stop? Coffee is brewed hot. Okay, I get. Actually, and I do like cold brew. I'm fine with cold brew. But I don't know. And I don't want to be a purist here. Well, maybe I do. But, and somebody's going to come for me being like, well, original coffee was made like this. It was made like this. I don't really care how original coffee was made. I just like making it the way I like making it. And icing it is like another step. And that's weird to me. To me, that's weird. God. Sorry, my cats are fighting right now. I'm just sitting on the stairs with my coffee, looking out the window, the door. It's a cold winter day. I think I'm starting the podcast now because I need anything to look forward to. You know what I mean? That seasonal depression. Anyways, the coffee that I made today, it's so boring. It's hot coffee that I brewed, and I just do pour over. So I put that into my Vitamix. Not to brag. It was $700, so let's brag. Put that into my Vitamix with, let's say, 8 raw almonds, about half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon, and this was my mistake, of coconut oil. God, what a mistake. And then some spices, some like chai spices. I was like, okay, let's make a latte. I bet this will be a bomb-ass latte, like fuego. Because I've been really into the raw cooking, not raw cooking, jeez. Just whole food, let's say. Whole food, because not raw. I don't know why I said raw. I don't really care about raw. Whatever. Like, I'm not just going to eat raw cauliflower. But I've been into eating a lot of whole foods. So I was like, okay, this is a cool whole food latte. Like, that's a cool idea. Now, it wasn't fully whole food because I put some maple syrup in there. Anyways, blended it up. It tastes foul. And here's where I think I went wrong. I didn't consider that the almonds have fat in them. I thought I needed to add fat from the coconut oil to make it like a milk fat, creamy. And I doubled up on the fat, and it just tastes oily. Or like, it blended, it creamed. It all turned into cream. But it tastes like freaking half and half. It tastes like I brewed my coffee in half and half. Like, it's just too thick. It's too much. Anyways, that's how we're starting the day. I'll never know how long these podcasts will be. I have to tell you that. Let's get some ground rules here right off the bat for voice memos. I might change the name because I might end up hating that name, but it really is how I podcast, how I talk. Like the voice memos that you can send in like every chat now, every DM, every text chain. Like, the new thing is like a voice message. At least for the last year, I've been really only liking to talk in this way. I hate texting now. I hate like taking time to like type out. I wish on comment responses, like on Instagram and stuff, I could just send a little voice memo. I should trademark that, because I bet that's coming soon. Oh my god, I bet that's going to be the next social media. You know what I mean? Like, that capability is now here, and like that's the next step of connection. Anyways, that's what I like. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this in like a podcasty, like, hey guys, and welcome to my show. Why is my voice rough today? It sounds like I smoked. I don't smoke. Anyways, and that's what I like. Everyone knows. So, oh my god. My cat. Okay, he's fine. He is obsessed. Okay, we'll talk about this. I got this tree from Sprouts, which is a grocery store here in the U.S., like a health food-ish grocery store. I got this tree, this pine tree-ish thing from there. He will not stop. There's little Christmas balls on it. He literally just woke up yesterday and saw the balls. And they've been there for a couple weeks now. And now he's like made it his effing mission. He's doing it right now in front of my face. He just picked it up in his mouth and carried it away. He has decided, it is the cutest thing I think I've ever been witness to. So that's why I'm not like stopping him from doing it. I don't really stop the cats from doing anything at all. I don't know why I would ever stop nature's way. But anyways, he takes his time to like knock off each ball, like each little Christmas ornament from the tree. There's probably 10 of them in the tree, and they're mini balls, like the regular big ones on the Christmas tree, but mini. And this is, I think, his third or fourth, because I see about 7 left on the tree up at the higher branches, but all the lower ones are now gone. Anyways, he takes his time to figure out how to get them the hell off the tree. And like, they're pretty well wired on, so it takes him a lot of time. And sometimes he ends up like grabbing it with his mouth. I saw him pull one off and pull off like part of the tree with it, like a little leafy branch. Anyways, I just saw, because I was wondering where they all went. I was like, I know he's doing this, but I don't know and I don't care where the balls end up, because like I'm noticing they're missing, but like I just realized like they have to go somewhere physically. I guess I just kind of thought like whatever, once they're off the tree. He picked it up in his mouth, the little ball, and he walked into the other room with it, and I just put 2 and 2 together, and it's like, he's literally stealing those, you know? And he's hiding them somewhere. And so one of these days, while I'm cleaning, I'm going to find a little pile of Christmas ornaments. Like, is that not the cutest thing you've ever heard? Like, why would I be such a monster? Why would I be such a monster as to stop him from doing that? Like, that's the thing. The cats are my joy. I have 5 cats, for those of you who don't know. I have 5 cats. Cats are my joy. I love that they do whatever they want. So why would I ever tell them what to do? You know? Like, the magic for me is a well-behaved cat that loves me, but also, like, does cool and interesting things that I get to see. And they all do, like, cool and interesting things. Like, they don't act like your average house cat. They do not spend their day just, like, sitting there in the chair. They seriously they each have their own mission in life. And one of these days, one of these voice memos, when I feel up to it, I'll take you through each of the cats. I'll probably include an Instagram post with a slider where I show you the cats. What's it called? Like, a little portrait of each cat with their name and stuff, so that you know who I'm talking about. But anyways, cat is not today's pod. Today's pod is coffee. So we'll get back to coffee. Right, I was screaming about iced coffee. I guess it's fine. Honestly, I've cooled down on it. I changed my mind. Like, iced coffee's fine. I have good memories of iced coffee. No, I don't. Actually, I'm switching back to the other side. Iced coffee is usually bad. Sorry, it is. And, like, do not come for me, because here's why iced coffee is... Here's why. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Here's why iced coffee is bad. Period. Those of you who like iced coffee are putting sweetener in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging that. That's a great way to enjoy coffee. I think sweet coffee, a sweet, like, coffee treat, like when coffee goes sweet, is fun. People should enjoy that. I don't enjoy that, so I don't sweeten my coffee. And that's might be why today I don't like mine, because I told you I put a little bit of maple syrup in it. This makes sense. So I don't like sweet coffee. Coffee to me is like a slightly bitter, earthy taste. Like, the joy of coffee for me is the true, like, raw power of coffee. And sometimes I like to throw a few spices in there, but I don't like when they taste artificial. So, like, I don't like the flavored coffees. I'll literally throw, like, a little bit of cinnamon maybe, or nutmeg or something. That's fun, because it's like we're adding to the pot, the little brew, the little witch's brew of coffee. But then you add sweetener and it becomes like a dessert. It becomes like a sweet treat. And for me, I've never liked sweet drinks unless they're fruit flavored. Wow, I'm just like, this is a huge revelation to have on episode 1. Write in. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here's how I want you to write into the podcast. I always check my DM requests on Instagram. That's where I go to, like, hear the news. Like, that feels like a newspaper for me, because you guys are so funny and so, like, smart. Like, I laugh every single time what is sent to me, and I sometimes share it on my story and stuff. So, like, that's where we can keep this conversation going, is what I'm saying. Please write in if you listen to this, and so I can know who's listening to the pod and from where. Okay, so here's what you do. You DM me on Instagram @_CodyGean. You include your name. No, you don't need to. You just need to tell me what you think of iced versus hot coffee. Anyways, I'm done talking about coffee. Like, that's about as interesting as it is. Let me take one last drink of my shit coffee, and then we'll switch topics. Actually, you know what? Let me dump the rest of it out. So, as I was saying, the audio quality is about to get magnificently better, but it's almost like, let me do like an original voice memo, because I'm just recording this as a voice memo on my phone. So it's the name of the podcast, voice memo, and then as I have the nicer mic, which still plugs into my phone, it's a really cool mic setup, but it'll still be recorded through the voice memos app, but I want you to feel that raw voice memo power on this first one, because I'm going to always record this podcast walking around, taking care of a couple art things, because for those of you who don't know, I'm a painter. I paint things. You can check them out. If you saw this, you know I'm a painter. So anyways, that's the raw realness of it. I'm now upstairs. I'm sitting in a new location, in a new room, and just kind of letting this space change the energy of the podcast and transition us into part 2 of the pod. So let me take a drink of water, transition, just kind of bodily, and I'll be back. That's where the ad break would go. Like, if I was one of those big, like, Amazon original or Spotify podcasts that, like, have ad dollars behind them, and, like, the personalities are, like, well known, they'd be like, okay, we're gonna take a break, and then suddenly it would be like, Blue Apron it's always like a woman, it's always like a very, like, but a lot of the things that we use in society that we consider, like, comforting, like, they use women's voices for that, and it is weird to me, you know, because, like, why is Siri, Alexa, like, why are these people, they're not even people, why are we giving them, like, a human but female form? Like, why are they our servants? You know what I mean? That's effed up. That all of the little things that do our tasks and, like, read our ads and, like, for some reason I just pictured that T-Mobile girl from the 2010s when there was that ad campaign with the hot T-Mobile girl. Do you guys remember this? Hot T-Mobile girl. You should look her up. Maybe send me a picture of her through the DM. But she was like supposedly like the sexiest woman alive. Like, oh God, she's so hot. She's so hot. Anyway, she was advertising for T-Mobile, and her whole thing was just like that she's hot. Anyways, I picture her as like Siri. Like, and I know I'm right in that because all of the freaking tech bro, Silicon Valley white men, straight white men, because at this point, a good chunk of the tech we use was created by straight white men, which is crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe one day it'll be better. One day we'll have a whole new tech, a whole new internet that was created like by the people for the people. But right now, the internet was created by one point of view. Ew. Anyways, those straight white men, that's what they were picturing. That was their fantasy. And they're like, okay, since Siri, since Alexa, since robots, since all of this stuff, we're just building our male fantasies into this. Like, let's make her like a sexy, young, soothing voice. It always kind of feels like they're seducing you. Tech voices. Am I wrong? Like, it always feels like you'd be like, play whatever. Okay. Playing You Want This by Janet Jackson on YouTube Music. Like, it's always like they're like caressing your face while they're saying it. Oh gosh, it's messed up. And that's why, that's why we gotta keep doing what we're doing online, because that is the framework in which we're trying to build stuff. We gotta keep going. Anyways, that's why I actually liked my social media idea. That feels less straight white male coded. You can let me know if you think it still fits into that box, but like communicating with voice as comments feels very caring, loving, and takes time. And that would require people to not be hateful, because people who don't like the sound of their voice are usually hateful people. Like, they're the most hateful ones. And so they wouldn't comment because they'd be like, oh God, I have to use my real voice to say this hateful comment. I have to use my throat to speak. Like, the way it's set up is just set up for male hate. And I do go into the DM requests and see a lot of male hate too. Because for those of you who don't know, I like to post pictures online. And anytime you're someone who likes to post pictures of yourself online, not even straight men, just the male fear is going to flood that. So in the DMs also, there's definitely still like, someday I'll go through some of them because it's wild. But anyways, who cares? We are just hanging out in this next room. I might switch over to the third and final room for the third part of the pod now. In fact, let's just switch over to this chair, and then that'll kind of close us out here for the first episode of Voice Memos, which... Is it Voice Memos or Voice Notes? Voice Notes was an album by Charlie Puth, so let's do Voice Memos. All right, we're here in the new chair. It's very cozy. It's the most cozy spot I've sat for the podcast. I'm glad I didn't start the podcast here, because like whenever I get cozy, like my mind kind of just gets cozy too, and I have a little less energy, but it's a good place to finish the podcast. It's like kind of quieting down, closing up shop. Like, so many of the podcasts that I used to listen to were just loud, and just like attention grabbing, funny, which, listen, I'm funny, I know, like, you're chuckling, but it's not like I need you to think I'm funny. I need this to be funny. I need to fill an hour of interesting conversation. Like, conversation is interesting. It doesn't have to be, like, performed. Anyways, that's how I feel in this new chair. So I feel like that's a good place to finish up, because I really have been enjoying, like, the quieter side of, like, TikTok, Instagram, social media, so why don't I give a little bit of a quieter side of the concept of a podcast? So here we are, we're sitting in the new chair, we're seeing things differently. That's how I'd like to feel with the new podcast, let's say that. I want this to be a space that is co-created by all of us, because it really is a conversation. Like, I don't like when podcasts just seem like somebody with a megaphone spewing their opinion into the world. Like, podcasts are created by their listeners in many ways, and a lot of hosts don't realize that, you know, your audience is the podcast, and you're just kind of like, quote unquote, the figurehead for, or like the physical representation of the point of view of that audience. Let's say that. So you guys, y'all, I love that y'all is gender neutral. Y'all, and it brings out a little bit of my country. Y'all need to write in to this pod. Y'all need to write in. Sorry. You need to write into the pod. And the pod, the home base for conversation right now, until one day I make an Instagram or whatever for it. Although that doesn't sound fun to me. Does that sound fun to you? Like, I'm me. I'm never really going to have anyone on this podcast. It's just me. So why would the home base for it is my social media. Why would I need to brand it? Still feeling like, oh, it's only worth something if it can be advertised. You know what I mean? Like, connection is worth something. Speaking is worth something. Like, people just want to be talked to and with. Like, that's all a podcast is. They don't want to be sold to. Oh, wouldn't it be horrible, though, if, like, we blew up as a podcast and, like, in 6 months here I was doing Blue Apron ads and I was figuring out, although I could do that in a really fun way. I will say, advertisers, if, like, I do deserve to be paid, let's say that, for my time. So I could if there were companies that were down with it, I could riff them into these conversations and be honest and real with my audience about my experience with those things. Because, look, I live in the freaking world. I use products every day. Like, of course I want to talk about that and share that. So yeah, I deserve to be paid for that. You know what? I love it. It's my right. It's my right to do ads. So any advertisers listening? Oh my gosh, we have fun. We have fun, y'all. Please write in. Please let me know what you thought of the first episode. This really is a moment where we can just share space together and enjoy. That's all it's about for me, is enjoying. I'm never going to record an episode unless I'm enjoying it. Like, you have my full word on that. And that's part of the reason you're not going to really get a release schedule from me. I'm just going to release podcasts as I enjoy speaking and, like, sharing and, like, going in the DMs and, like, getting prompts from you guys. Like, that's the only time I'm going to do it, is when I feel like I have something to say that is more than I can say in a TikTok video or an Instagram post. So just know that, like, it's not going to be like every Monday, new episode. But also, like, you might end up getting a lot of content on a week where I feel good. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. Let's feel good together. Let's do our best to weather this horrible winter. Let's not call it horrible. Just this cold, like, it's cold. I don't love the cold. But yeah, let's chat in the DM. Let's figure out what we want this show to be. Let's figure out what we actually like listening to. I think that's your responsibility, is you have to tell me what you actually like, you know, like, because chances are I like it too. Because I think we're just past this idea of what a podcast should be. There's so many podcasts now, so much fakeness out there in in a hunt for for views, or for listeners, or for ad dollars. And I want to escape that with y'all. I want to, like, run over in the corner and just kind of hang out and play together. Like, let them be over there, you know, playing with the newest, prettiest, trendiest toy. Like, we will be in the corner making up our own game. Period. That's a great way to end it. Talk to y'all soon.